Hello class, Dr. Mike here for my CIS-1107 Introduction to Operating Systems. This is topic 15, which is usually week 15 here at the time of this recording. And it is on cloud as a service, or cloud services, or the cloud. Now there is no textbook on this. This is really a non-textbook chapter item, and there's actually some existing videos to watch, both on AWS, Azure, cloud certifications, and so on. I'm just going to touch upon some of the main points of the cloud you can come away with, and you should probably know. So I'm going to look at a different textbook here, but I'm just going to pull some stuff from it and we'll discuss it. So first off, what is the cloud itself? There's always a picture of the cloud. It's someone else's computer, right? Well, it is. And what the cloud is built upon is virtualization, virtual machines. So clouds are just data centers across the world and different parts of the world. And they usually cluster out servers together. And these servers are running virtual machines. So you could be renting a cloud service up here. I'll talk about the different types. And unbeknownst to you, could have different neighbors running other machines. You might be moved from one hardware to another if one's down for maintenance. We can back to the virtualization about high, sort of industrial level VM like ESX server, for example. This is where you'll see that kind of stuff in play. So, virtualization is what really makes the cloud work. Cloud offers some stuff that, when it comes to corporate computing, is a great example. So, one example is we have capacity on tap. So, what does that mean, capacity on tap? So, let's say we start a skateboard company, and we hire a couple people to do set up a couple of servers in the corner of our building, make a little data center. So they set up, 3 web servers. Maybe we have a 5-person IT department, which is running our web page for our sales and so on. And we have, maybe 2 app servers, and then we have our database with a database server. All these with a backup, spare app, spare database server. So for failover, right? So this is our investment in our little. This is our web servers. This is our app servers. So 2 app servers are balanced between 3 servers. These are database calls back and forth. So that's our architecture we have in place. This is working great, right? All these are used maybe half, 50% and so on. But let's say we release something, it goes viral. It is the next biggest thing, whatever it be, skateboard, widget, we're gonna call it the next coolest guitar. And man, our traffic just goes from this to this, just within a day. So what happens is, all these devices, they're load balanced, but they all reach max capacity. And when this one dies, unfortunately, for some reason, it has to fail over and everything dumps to these 2, which you can know is a cascading effect, which this fails over, and that means our website is down. So we can't go buy, order, ship, and rack 2 more web servers. So by the time we get them in, we've lost this peak, this growth. And this is sales, this is business, this is exposure. That's gone. So far as we know, maybe we'll get it back, maybe we won't. It's very costly. So what capacity on tap of the cloud allows is, first off, you don't have to worry about racking servers locally. We'll talk about this in a second. Again, we'll go into infrastructure as a service, but I can basically spin up and pay for 2 extra servers, just copy them over, and within a minute have those 2 extra servers up and running to take the capacity of 3 more servers or 4 more servers. And when I'm done with them, I can just get rid of them. It's almost like renting them for a small amount of time. So we get an extra VM space. As you can see, our servers in the cloud, the new product goes out, capacity reaches, it explodes, we spin up, or automatically it's spun up, extra servers are brought up upon and put to the load balancer to take that capacity. And later on, when we're no longer the hottest, the greatest thing, we can take those off, and we make great sales, and the cost for those extra servers really is worth it. So cloud's got a lot of great things about it. First off, when you look about cloud computing itself, there are ways you can do on-premise models, hosted services. Realize that the cloud doesn't always mean AWS. There's a hybrid cloud. You could have a data center on site and a cloud setup. It's a horrible looking cloud. It's more like a mountain. And using something called a virtual private cloud, VPC network. Virtual private cloud, it creates this connection that acts as if our servers were in the cloud, and if the cloud servers had access there, like they were locally. So you might get this hybrid setup where you have some stuff on premise and some stuff hosted. So, all right. So again, everything's built upon virtual machines. Different ways you can do this, of course, on demand, universal support, and so on. But let's talk about really the main parts here. So I'm going to zoom in on this here. We have software as a service, and we'll just zoom in here. So software as a service. Let's do this here. So what we have is 3 types of tiers when it comes to the cloud. So you'll see this SaaS, and then you might see the platform as a service, PaaS, and then infrastructure as a service, IaaS. So what does this mean? So, and I'm sure the videos probably talk about this, so let's be real brief here. So software as a service, you rent or pay for both the capacity, the management of software. And a good example of that is probably what you're looking at through this here, which is eLearn. So the cloud provider, our eLearn is provided through Amazon, I believe. And I know the college pays for it all to be up and running and managed, which means you really just pay for and manage the software itself. Another good example of this is Google Docs. So you use Gmail. If you use Gmail, Google Docs, you're using software as a service. A lot of blogging platforms. Even YouTube, if I'm posting this to YouTube, in a way, I'm sort of using YouTube as a service, a free service. So is Google Docs. Some you'll pay for. What's one of the biggest blogging software out there? So yeah, it happens when I record a video. I forget the name of it, but yeah, there's a. You can basically you buy or you pay for your domain name, and it goes on this blogging software, and it's all patched, managed, capacity's taken care of. You basically log in remotely over your web browser. With HTML5, it literally is having your app here. You could sort of drag pages around. You can, create pages, add posts. I'll use Blogger, for example. I know it's not the one I was thinking of initially, but Google's old Blogger software. It's free, but similar thing here, where I'm basically using Blogger, and I'm accessing it from my web page, and it's software. So, platform as a service. So, move a little deeper than that. Let's say, well, I want to have a database and a web server. Now, AWS has something like this, where it's sort of like, yeah, we have this Amazon, full-on database system. You can just stand one up, and I'm sure the videos talk about this. We have web servers. We have a DNS, like Route 53 it's called, I think. We have a DNS server think of it as you sort of say, I need this box, I need a web server, I need to have a load balancer, I need to have a database, and then maybe an application server. And they sort of have those sort of pre-rolled, and so you just sort of grabbing them and racking them. And again, done virtually. And again, these are patched, done by the Easy Cloud provider, patched by them, and they can help you manage them. And really what you do is on these, then you might take care of the configuring the DNS. I'll do my load balancing. I will load my own web content, and that could include a blogging software maybe that you maybe load from open source or commercial you buy. And so maybe you buy some box software, or it comes off GitHub or whatever. You load it into your web server. Database server itself. So there, I'm loading my own data though, and I'll of course take care of the database. But the database itself, server already pre-made. It's the platform. Same with the DNS server, load balancer, and our web server. So it's sort of this hybrid of a little bit of software, a little bit of platform. Now, last one, of course, being infrastructure as a service. This is saying I need to have, a 16, gigabyte. That's a horrible size. It's like a desktop size now. 16 gigabyte, 4 CPU, with multiple thread, multiple cores, with so much storage in the cloud. 128, 100, let's say 1 terabyte of storage, of cloud storage accessible to it. And that's it. I will install my own operating system. I will install take care of my own patching. My own software will go onto it. Whether it be, again, box software license, I'll do my own licensing. Same with the OS. I'll do all my own management, and I'll back up my own data. I need this hardware slot. I need to have something with that. Maybe I need 4 of these. Maybe I need to have a really large scale one, 128 gigabytes for data processing. Then I'm going to run a Python server on there for data analysis, like an Anaconda server, let's say. So, 16 CPUs with also GPU support, because I'm going to do some really stuff with a multiple GPU inside there. So then Amazon has this stuff. You can rent these, and you'll see, hopefully the video will show you, or if you do some exploring, you can rent. You're renting the infrastructure. So, and that's it. That's the bare bones IIS. This is going to rely upon you to do basically everything. But again, the good part is you still have that ability, whether it be in software as a service, platform, or infrastructure. If I need to have additional box spun up, 2 more of these spun up, I got them. Now, of course, I'll have to go in and copy my stuff into them, but I can instantly get more hardware. Platform, again, if I need to have another web server, I can spin up 2 more web servers with the pre-built Amazon or Azure web server, either Windows or Linux, or I think it's Amazon's RDS. I think is their RDS is their database you can spin up and run, which is it's like a MySQL database, I believe. I can spin up another one as needed, or again, as software. Software itself, the idea here is you don't have to spin up servers. If I create a blogging software and I get 10x the hits, these can absorb those. Now there could be some cost in that later on, but I don't have to worry about spinning stuff up. The cloud itself here is taking care of capacity and all that. So some reason again I have some blogging software. Maybe this is a merchandise software. So I'm selling my merch, right? And again, I get that huge spike in views. Something I put out is the latest and greatest. This transfers immediately to more capacity from my software as a service provider. I always would say don't assume this. See what this entails if capacity does spike up, either personal, even corporate, commercial. There's probably, again, you will probably build for this, but the idea is it's cheaper to be built for this than lose that sales. So software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service are the 3 things you should come away from the cloud with. And there's also something called security as a service. This is actually a security textbook. Basically, you bring in cloud intrusion detection, things like that, but we won't cover that here. So IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. And that should come away with the few things you should come about for this topic for cloud. So I definitely watch the videos that are provided in the shell, look at the certification, look at the information. And I believe the activity for this one too, there's no regular activity. You're actually going to either create a paper or actually go on, and in this case, at the time of this recording, there was you actually create your own virtual machine in Azure for free. So anyways, always look at the latest information in the assignments because it could change from the time of this recording. So that is a little info on the cloud, and I hope it was handy. Thank you.